Now, on this show, we make sure that we deal with everything feel good, but we also make sure that we take good care of our bodies. When we look at diabetes, 3.5 million people in South Africa currently are suffering from diabetes, and sometimes we live with it undiagnosed. Diabetes in South Africa is also known as ishugela, or as sugar, or suiker, like we call it in Afrikaans. But what exactly is it, even though we all know it's got to do something with sugar intake? Well, Fransa is here with us to make sure that we talk about exactly what diabetes and also diabetes screening is all about. What are the different types of diabetes, Fransa?
The two common types that everybody knows about is your type 1 and type 2 diabetes. But you also get a condition, pre-diabetes, where you don't actually, when you test it, you don't test as having diabetes, but your blood sugar level is higher than normal. And your type 1 diabetes is more, there's less people that have it because it's something that starts when you're younger. It has to do with the fact that the beta cells in your pancreas, they do not function, you don't have enough cells, so the body doesn't produce insulin. Whereas your type 2 diabetes is the one that most people suffer from, and that is on the increase in South Africa, and that is lifestyle issues.
Now, we all know someone with it, or I've had a friend that passed on because of it. He didn't take care of his body because he didn't know, he wasn't sure. What are the lifestyle risks? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, you know, the thing with diabetes, as you mentioned, it's known as sugar, or we always think just about sugar, but carbohydrates plays a huge role, because your carbohydrates is converted into sugar in the body. And if you're around about 40 or older than 40, overweight, don't exercise, you have a very high chance of ending up with diabetes.
So it's almost like self-induced, you can create it.
Oh, yes. And when you are diagnosed with it, with type 2, which, as I said, is a type of lifestyle diabetes, by just watching what you eat and exercising and living a healthier lifestyle, you can reduce that high sugar level in the blood or high glucose level dramatically. Some people don't even have to take medication to bring down those glucose levels.
Sure. Is there a way of living healthily? So let's say you are diagnosed with diabetes. How do I live healthily after that?
Well, the first thing is you need to look at what you eat. You need to look at your portions, especially carbohydrates. At Pick n Pay, for instance, we have a lovely health-wise pamphlet. We actually have different types, one specifically for diabetes, and it will tell you what type of foods, what should your shopping list look like, how to actually have your portions.
Excellent.
And it even has recipes inside where it will tell you what type, because it doesn't mean you have to, you know, eat boring food.
That looks yummy.
It does. I was looking at it this morning. I thought maybe I should make it this weekend.
You see.
But it's a matter of, you know, really people think, oh, I've got to cut out all sugar. Yes, sugar is important, but it's a matter of watching what you eat. Don't have the French fries down from the takeaway place, you know. Watch your meals and exercise.
I've been checked for cholesterol before, and it's because it's in my family, and even high blood pressure. But how does one get screened for diabetes?
Very similar. Just a finger prick, and it's a screening test. That's what's important to note. So when you do go to one of our Pick n Pay pharmacy clinics, you would go for a screening test, preferably fasting, so that, because if you've just eaten a high carbohydrate meal, or if you've just had
sugary
something
apple
to drink, well, apple not so much, but I think if it was, you know, a nice sugary cool drink, then your levels are not going to be right, because you're going to have a lot of glucose in the blood. So preferably in the morning, after you haven't eaten, before you have breakfast, go and have a check. It's a finger prick. They test the blood and check the levels of the glucose in the bloodstream. If it looks slightly high, the nursing sister would say, look, it doesn't look all right. Let's send you to the doctor to do a proper blood test that the pathologists will check. And from that, then you know, yes, there's a problem, I'm heading towards diabetes, or, oh, wow, I have diabetes. And I cannot stress enough, it is really not expensive. Diabetes is on the rise in South Africa because of our lifestyles. And everybody watching today should, if they haven't been for a screening check for the past 6 months, should definitely go and make sure that their family members go too. Because eventually, if you walk with it undiagnosed, it's going to attack your major organs, the eyes, the heart, the kidneys, and you can end up with major problems.
So it is actually just important to live a healthy lifestyle and make sure that you eat the right things. And I mean, there's details in the brochures, and also Pick and Pay clinics offer diabetes screenings. You just heard it. So screening checks that you can go to at a minimal fee. You heard it. It's not expensive. Make sure you get there, check out whether you have diabetes or even what they call pre-diabetic, and make sure that you can take good care of your heart and your eyes and your body, and live longer to be around your family. Well, thank you so much, Fransa, for giving us details about that. Looking after our health here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Well, the rest has more. It's time for Leigh-anne.
Goodness can be found in encouraging greatness at the Junior Runners Academy in Soweto. Pick and Pay, always there for you.